How do we talk about our product to the market? And what information do we share with our marketing teams so that they can effectively build messages and collateral for your product? As this graphic shows, your product value proposition is the intersection of your brand, the problems that you solve for your target market, and the attributes of your product that set you apart from the alternatives. It is the product manager's responsibility to communicate with internal stakeholders about the value propositions of the product or releases of the product. You have worked hard to understand the market. You've worked with your team to define the requirements and roadmaps. You don't want to let the product get released with poor messaging, so don't forget to document this important component. From the previous slide, one of the components that drives your value proposition is your brand. But what is a brand? Brand can either be defined at the product level or the company level. For example, IBM is famous for establishing a corporate brand and mandates that product managers leverage the IBM brand rather than the specific division or groups of products that they manage. In other cases, there may be a certain amount of brand at the product level. A Big Mac sandwich is a brand all its own, but also leverages the McDonald's corporate brand. Branding goes way back to companies like Procter & Gamble, which were geniuses in establishing brands like Crest toothpaste, Gillette razors, and Tide laundry detergent. A brand is based on a promise. What is the promise that the company makes for their market when they use or buy that brand? Think of cars like Tesla, Volvo, BMW. Each have a mystique or a promise. Brands are emotional. They emote feelings from the buyer or user. It's not about function, it's about feeling. Companies can improve or hurt the perception of their brand. If BMW came out with a lower quality car, it may hurt their brand. That is why you see them marketing brands like the Mini Cooper, but not naming it the BMW Cooper. Finally, brands must be built over time with continued reinforcement from the vendor. So now to the value prop. Value props are specific to markets and personas. An economic buyer may value different things about your product than does the user of the product. You need to define an overall value proposition for your product, but be aware that it may need to be tuned to specific markets or personas. We've talked a lot about market problems. These are problems that have a level of urgency that the market is willing to pay to solve. When defining your value proposition, you need to consider what problems it solves from the market's point of view. Finally, what is it that differentiates this product from the alternatives? Is it cheaper, quicker, easier to use, better integrated with third parties, or something else? We can use the value prop to make sure that the market doesn't perceive this product as a me too. Here's a popular method for documenting value propositions. It encompasses all the things that we just covered. How about applying a value prop to an external message? Here's a web page for Lyft, who competes directly with Uber in the US marketplace. Their overall value prop has been converted into messaging by the marketing team. First, the target market. Simply, those people that need a ride in a car, which is implied. Problem? You need more than a ride, you need it quickly, in minutes. Why is Lyft unique versus their competitors? They strive to make it a pleasant experience, happy drivers and happy riders. But they are safety-minded as well. Finally, what is the product? It's a mobile app with mapping to allow you to reserve and plan a trip in a car by one of their drivers. Value proposition definitions can be a paragraph, a bulleted list, or even an internal presentation. They are not directly the marketing communications words, but they establish the base information that marketing and sales teams can use to communicate to the market about your product, with messages that will resonate with your targeted personas in your target market segment.